Looking for the best transport options in London? Well, this video is definitely for you. Hi everyone, Arinzeh here with Onyx Property Team. I'm a London-based agent and I love celebrating the fantastic things to do in London if you're visiting or planning to relocate here. Having moved over 12 years ago, one of the things, the decision I had to make was, did I actually want to bring my car over from the States? And I really was torn about it. I can honestly tell you that actually having a car in London is probably going to be more of a nuisance than it's worth when you think about insurance and the cost of maintaining it and maintenance and certifications. It is definitely not going to be a cheap option. But you don't really need it because you've got so many other fantastic transport options, and in this video we're going to highlight pretty much most of them. Of course, the first one is going to be the London train system, which is heavily dominated by the London Tube. There are 11 tube lines that run north, south, east, or west, and you can truly get across the city. Obviously, if you're thinking about relocating here, most people will definitely put a premium on living relatively close to the tube, but you know what? A 15-minute walk to a tube station is really not a big deal. Many of the lines are running 24 hours now, so you will get service throughout the day. It actually, hits me quite funny when I go back to the States and you're waiting for trains for 6 or 10 minutes. Most trains in London are going to be running 2 to 3 minutes, so it's very frequent. Now, in terms of those lines, the few that I'd like to highlight are the Jubilee line, which runs from northwest all the way up in Stanmore, all the way down southeast to Stratford. It's a great line because you can get from St. John's Wood through Baker Street, Mayfair, all the way down to Canary Wharf if you're in the finance or the financial services sector. Also, the Central line runs east to west, and that's a fantastic train line. It's a little bit older, can be very crowded, but will get you everywhere you need to go running east and west. Also, you've got the Piccadilly line, which kind of goes the other way. It goes from northeast down to southwest, so that's a great train line option as well. And finally, you've got the Northern line, so you can go from lovely places like Hampstead or Golders Green in the north, down right into Bank, which is the center of the financial district in the city. But we've also now got the Elizabeth line, which is a 100-kilometer train line system that has gone all the way west and east and has cut train commutes dramatically. It had a lot of starts. It used to be called the Crossrail, but it is definitely up and running and can get you to Heathrow in a relatively short amount of time. So that's become a fantastic option. And it's got some really nice train stations that are brand new, and the trains are fabulous. Now, of course, we couldn't mention London without talking about our iconic double-decker buses, which really have one of the most extensive bus routes that I've ever seen. I personally love the tube, but I also like being on the buses. The buses are great because they're airy, you get to see the light, but you're still going to be subject to traffic, even though many of the roads will have dedicated bus lanes. That's why the tube comes in handy. But if you have time and you really want to feel more relaxed and less claustrophobic, the buses are going to be an option. I always prefer to get that front row seat on that upper deck. Next up is cycling. London is becoming more and more a cyclist paradise day by day. You've got dedicated cycle lanes allocated for cyclists, and while they have to obviously adhere to the same road signs as the cars, life is becoming hopefully safer day by day with those dedicated cycle lanes. Or if you don't own your own cycle, you can definitely rent one of these Santander bikes, also known as the Boris bikes, that are available at stations throughout London. You're going to find a lot of them in prime central London, but you'll also find them at tube stations, so you can get out the tube and perhaps rent a Santander bike where you can be charged with a monthly package or day by day and hourly. What's also nice is if you do decide to commute by cyclist, many of the stations are going to have incredible cycle racks where you can park your bike and they're going to be safe. Definitely want to check in terms of transport for London what your options are to bring cycles onto trains and buses, because they will be restricted. Coming back to the trains, beyond the underground, London also has an extensive overground network as well as DLR, so you're going to have those additional train options as well. And then we've got the National Rail, which gets you to far-flung locations throughout the UK, bringing you into central London. Of course, there's always walking, which is a fantastic and healthy option. Make sure to put one of those step trackers on and see your count definitely go up throughout the day. And one of the great things is London's got some fantastic bridges to get across, so if you need to go across London Bridge or Millennium Bridge or Suffolk Bridge, walking is actually a great way to get from one part of the river to the other. And finally, if you've got the budget for it, you definitely have options, whether it's Uber or London's iconic black cabs. These are a fantastic options. They will share actually the bus lane as well, so it can be a quick way to get around the city, but definitely will be subject to traffic as well. So if you're trying to get to a far location and rushing for a meeting, definitely want to question whether the black cab option is going to be your best and quickest option. But what is so nice about the black cabs, I've never seen a more great design, because it can actually fit 5 people in that back space, luggage, or if you've got wheelchair, you can get up there really easily, and they definitely will know the streets of London. They've been trained to do that, and it'll be a great way to see the city. So what did you think of those options? What's your favorite? Have you actually used all of those options in a single day? Perhaps you have, because I've seen definitely people riding to the bus, jumping on a tube, getting in a cab, or whatever you need to do. Make sure to drop me a line and let me know what was your favorites, or if there's a particular route that we haven't talked about. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos on my YouTube channel, where I share great tips and information about the London property market and living in this fabulous city. So that's Arinzeh with Onyx Property Team and Keller Williams. Bye for now.